So in this lesson or in this session, we are going to understand what are the objectives. So our objectives is to understand the meaning and utility, means what is time series and what is its use, then various components of time series, then additive and multiplicative models of time series, then various methods of estimating trend such as moving average method, least square method, and then exponential smoothing method. Okay, and numerical problems related to real life examples. So these are the topics we will be covering during the various sessions. Now let's come to the time series. So let's understand this, friends. So whatever we are learning in our syllabus or anywhere else, so we are experiencing it in our daily life too. Okay. So for example, this topic is time series. So time series, what is this? So time series is nothing but the chronological arrangement of data. Chronological arrangement of data. So we must understand what is the meaning of chronological. Okay, so chronological means, what do you mean by chronological means? It means data recorded at equal interval of time. Data recorded at equal interval of time. So that is chronological. Okay, so I explained you the meaning of chronological. So chronological means data recorded at equal interval of time. So whenever we collect the data on certain variable and we consistently do it on regular basis, okay, keeping the interval, okay, fixed interval, so that calls a time series. So uh, let's give real life examples. For example, a shopkeeper maintains his daily sales. Okay, daily sales record is kept by the shopkeeper, or monthly expenses, monthly expenses of a family, then population. Now government of India conducts census after 10 years, means collect the information of each and every people, each and every person in the country. Okay, so it covers after every 10 years. Or a patient is in ICU, then it's measurements in terms of BP or its pulse rate of patient in ICU. Suppose doctor collect the information, suppose the condition is very critical, so doctor ask their staff to collect the information on BP, pulse rate or heartbeat at every, suppose 3 hours, at every 3 hours. So that can be a time series data. Or another example, then rainfall in a particular place or a state during a year. Okay, rainfall. So it is also every year the weather department records the rainfall in a particular. Okay. Then EDOC or production. Suppose a company is manufacturing some article or items, then what is the production? Okay. Then what is the profit, sales and profit? Okay. So there are many record, or even though there are many examples in real life where we use the time series. For example, if you have some pocket money, so if now students have some expenses, okay, so your family member or parents give you some pocket money, so that pocket money every month how much you expend, if you record it somewhere or your parents record it somewhere, so that will also form the time series. Okay, time series data. Then more example, your marks. If you're consistently performing or appearing for exams, then your marks at a particular standard is right from 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. If you collect your marks a percentage year wise or standard wise, then it will be also time series data. So hope you understand this. Okay. Then stock prices of a particular share. So now it can be monthly, it can be hourly also, then it can be day wise or week wise or fortnight wise or over a long period of time. Okay, there are big companies who are right from the beginning in the market, like you can say Infosys, okay, TCS, all these companies are for a long duration they are in the field. So their prices you can observe. Okay, so stock prices, stock market prices or of a particular company, share of a particular company, so that we can call it as a time series. Okay, so I hope from all these examples you understand what is the time series, and it is not unknown to us. We are knowing it, but we are not having idea that this is called as time series. Okay, so by this moment, I think everybody will feel comfortable about the time series, because time series is not a new concept. Your marks, sales and production of a company, then average rainfall every year, or population of the country in every decade. So all these examples which we are knowing previously, okay, everybody knows that government collects data on population every 10 years, or you get pocket money and you have an idea how much you can expend in a particular month. Okay, then if a patient is in a ICU, then doctor collect the information on BP, pulse rate, and heartbeats after certain year. They do not come randomly, right? They have some, unless and until it is emergency, they collect it on regular interval. So all these examples you are knowing very well. So don't worry about the time series. Time series is not a new concept. Just what's happening, you know everything, but this is time series. So you are recognizing it right now, right? Okay, but you are familiar and much more familiar. Okay, so now let's come to the point, what is a time series, and let's see how it is mathematically we can express. So so time series is a function of time. Time series is a function of time. What do you mean by that? So this is y means time series value. So we can show that it is f of t. Let me explain this very well. So in time series, there are two variables. We can always see there are two variables in which one factor is fixed, that is time. Okay, since this is a time series data, so now time can be anything. This is a fixed factor of the time series, right? So whenever you see a time series data, then you will always find a time variable in it. Okay. Now this time can be anything, right? From it can be a second, it can be hours, it can be day, it can be a week, it can be month, it can be year, or it can be years. Okay. So from smallest fraction of time to the longest duration, it time period can be anything. Okay. So in the above examples, we have seen that doctors are collecting information about patients, so on hourly basis, or few or 2 hourly or 3 hourly basis. Okay. Then day means stock market prices changes every day. Okay. Then weekly means some data weekly you can review the share prices of any company. Then monthly, month-wise means any business, every business person records the monthly sales and monthly profit, right? Then year, then every year the prices of certain commodities increases. Okay, so for example, gold, silver, and all these things. Then years. So all these things are what time can be anything. Okay, generally we find the time usually take this as year. Okay, but that is not the anything can be in this range. Then variable. Now variable, it is of interest. Suppose it is regarding the production of particular product. It can be production, it can be sales, it can be marks of students, or it can be price of gold. Okay, suppose anybody studying on the trend of price change in the gold price changes. Okay, so it is a price of gold can be example. Okay, then share price. So anything can be the variable, it will depend upon your interest. Okay, so these are the two factors. So generally time variable we denoted by time points t2, t3, tn. Okay, so these are called as the time points. And y means the time series variable, we can say time series variable. So it takes values y1, y2, that y1. If I will explain you in a simple way, time series data usually looks like this one. How the time series data looks? Time series data looks like this. So it is usually in this form. This is the time point, and this is the value at that time, value of the variable, value of. Okay, so here I would like to give you one example. Suppose price of gold. Okay, so I take one example. Means at the end of every financial year, I say last day the price of gold. Okay, so year wise I'm collecting. Suppose year, suppose it is 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. So suppose our variable y is price of gold. So I'm noticing what is its value. Okay, so suppose 2015. So gold prices was 32,000. Then 16 it was 35,000. I'm taking the approximate value. Then 39,000. Then suddenly it increased up to 45,000, and then 19 it was 52,000. Okay, so per 10 gram. Okay, per 10 gram, these are the prices. So what will be the time series value? What is t1? So these are the time points. The first time point is 2015, second time point is 16, and so on. Third time point, fourth time point, and this is fifth time point. So this is the a time point. Okay. Now, as per this time series, the value will depend. Okay. So if you ask me what was the value in the 2017, then it will be 39,000. If you ask me what is the price of the gold in 2015, it is 32. So value of the variable depends upon these time points. It will not be same. Okay. So this is the first. So Y1 means price of gold in 2015. So this is the value of the first corresponding to first time point, right? So similarly, this is Y2 price of gold in 2016 and so on. So this is just an example. So all the examples will be like this. Okay. So did you understand the time series? Okay. So this is the time series data. So earlier I made a comment about the time series. Time series is the function of time because the time series value, that is y, depends on time points, various time points. Okay, so that's why it is the now. Now, what are the things you have to take care during the time series? First of all, equal interval. Interval or a space between the, or duration between the two time points must be same, equal interval, or you can say the time period, time series data are equispaced. You can also use the word equidistant. Okay, so meaning of all these three words is same, that it is a chronological arrangement of data. Okay, so time series and where it is used, we have seen recently. Now we come across the various components of time series, or before that we'll see why we need a time series data. Okay, what is the need of it, why to study time series. Okay, and what is its importance, and what is its importance. So let's try to understand the time series data. Okay, so there are certain objectives behind studying the time series data. Okay, first of all, to understand the past behavior, to understand the past behavior of the data, past behavior of the data. So see, time series values is the past data, and we have tools to by which we can plot it, and then we understand that whether the data is increasing, whether the data is decreasing, or data is remaining constant over the time. So this is the behavior of the data, this is the behavior of the data, and we can predict about we get to know the behavior, how the data is behaving. Suppose I have a business. Okay, suppose I have a business, I am a business person, and I have the sales records. Okay, so year wise sales record, and I record somewhere. Suppose I symbolically give name, first year of my business, second year, third year, and fourth year. And this is the fifth year of my business. So suppose I show that I'm seeing that uh, the sales in lakhs. Suppose these are in lakhs. My suppose y is my profit. Okay, so year wise profit. So 5, 7, 9, 10, then 12. So I observe that the graph is increasing. When I plot it, then I will say, yes, the business is going on in the right direction, and my business is increasing. Okay, suppose I take another data corresponding to it, and I observe that business is slowly decreasing. For example, suppose first year it was 2. Suppose initially the business was running well and it got 10 lakh of profit. Then suppose 7 lakh, then 9 lakh, then 8 lakh. And suppose now it is down to 4 lakh only. Okay. So somewhere you will get a data like this. Okay. So declining, your business is a little bit declining. Okay, or suppose every year you are getting business like this. Okay, so you can say that your business is what remaining the same position. Okay, so whatever may be the data nature of the data, you will get the idea how the data is behaving. Either it is increasing, either it is decreasing, or either it is remaining constant. Either it is remaining constant. Okay, so you can understand the past behavior of the data. This is the uh, objective of studying the time series. Secondly, uh, you can forecast the future values. You can forecast the future values. Okay, so this is one of the strong like the regression analysis. This is again a very powerful forecasting tool. So if you know the behavior of the data, you can easily forecast the value. Suppose a business person have knowing that having the past data upon the various different variables like profit, sale, then demand, supply, all these things. So she can be able to predict the future values. Suppose what will be the profit, what can be the profit in the next year or next year or at a particular year. So here she can always predict it or forecast it and get a proper estimate of it. What will be my business in the coming years? Okay, or how much profit I can earn. And thirdly, to set policies. To set policies. Okay, or you can set your, or you can make decisions, or you can to set policies or make decision. So why we need to study the time series? Now we have past data, we know the behavior of the data, we can forecast our future values. Then you can set the policy. Just for example, you are doing a business. Okay, if your business is in profit, okay, so you can set the next target. Suppose you achieve the target of 10 lakh per annum, then you can in the next couple of years you can set the target of suppose 20 lakh or 15 lakh, whatever it may be. If you achieve this, then you can set new targets like 50 lakh. Okay, so whatever it may be, for the next few years you can set the targets. Okay, so you have achieved the target of 10 lakh, then you can set this one. Now there are one more can be there from the behavior of the data. Suppose the business shows that there is a decline in the business or the business is decreasing, then you can decide whether to continue it or not, or whether to stop the business and run it. You can always decide. Either you will stop that business completely and revoke it. Otherwise, you can also have an option that just do some changes in the business or do some strategic changes in the business and run it again, or okay, or relaunch of your product, or whatever the steps needs to means set up that business again in the market. So you will take an action. So what I'm saying, you can set your policies. Okay, you can you can take some decisions if you know the data properly. Okay, so that is these are the objectives of the time series value. So hope you understand this. So this is the concept of time series. Thank you very much.